Call the Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department Oversight Board to order. May we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Jablonski.
Here.
Ms. Clark. Here. Mr. Zugami.
Here.
And Mr. Helgeson.
Here.
And Mr. Maloney is excused.
Agenda item number 2, announcements and statements from the audience. Jim.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jim Hudson, 5002 Hero Street, Weston. Just wanted to express that I'm pleased to see that there's finally some movement on getting some kind of communication piece put together for residents of the community about what's going on with the building and stuff. Wish we would have started this a year ago, but better late than never. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some of this information get out into the community so we can place a positive spin on this entire project. I think it's a very much needed asset for the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone else? Seeing none. Agenda item number 3, minutes of previous meeting, Oversight Board meeting minutes of May 21st, 2026. Anybody see any changes, corrections, additions? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve? Move to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion by Zagami, second by Clark. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item number 4, discussion and possible action regarding contractual agreement with HTG for bid and construction. Jeremy?
Sure. So we're getting to the final stages here with our contract with Bolt and HTG. Matt is online here. He can probably explain a little bit where things are at. Amy's here from HTG. Wasn't able to attend today. In addition to that, then we have to get into a contractual agreement for the bid process and for the construction overseeing of the building. And that's where we have the HTG contract. But Matt, do you want to give a quick update where we're at on things?
I can, yeah. I think we're at the final stages, like you said, of design. Tom and the HTG team are providing us with I'll say a last just page turn of documents. From that, we're gonna do one last, I'll say, budget validation check, and it's really a strategic alignment to say, hey, are there little options or substitutions that we can work with Tom and his team to just make sure are included in the bid documents, just as a best value in one final effort. From a contractual standpoint, regarding this, our final bill for our services to date, which bring us, I'll say, up to the bid phase, our invoice will be submitted this week, and then I think there's just some mutual paperwork we need to pass back and forth, and then at that point, as Tom's alluded to here in this proposal, it's basically from the bid phase going forward is where Mountain Bay could then contract with HTG to perform the construction administrative tasks and services that they outline.
Okay. So from that point, we got Lee involved after our last meeting here. Lee has both documents, the AIA, and then he also has the agreement with HTG. He's been working with Tom. And Lee, if you want to go ahead, and Amy's here so she can maybe answer some of those questions.
Need an intro at all?
Sure, it's probably not a bad thing.
Met some of you before, but not everyone. My name is Lee Taroni. I'm an attorney, 21 years next month. So I tell people I'm not young anymore.
You can drink now.
Yeah, times 2 and more. So all I do is municipal law, town, city, village, a lot of towns. I do a lot. I'm probably around half the, I mean, I don't do half the state, but I'm all over about half the state. So I've got places all over the place. And anyway, I work at Dempsey Law, which is just downtown. And I live in Cronin-Winter, down the road here. So I won't charge for travel. This is commuting. Appreciate you getting me out of the office. So yeah, I'll just recap what I did so far. The first document I saw was the draft construction contract. That was that 219-page document. I did go through that. So I've been doing municipal law just about my whole career, and a lot of times, and no offense to HTG, but A lot of these architects are across the state line. And I think the laws are slightly different in Illinois and Minnesota than Wisconsin. And so you always got a bird dog for those kind of issues because, you know, in Wisconsin in particular, we don't have turnkey projects. We don't have design build projects. So that's why I bothered to look through that whole contract, not all day, but, and it looked fine. So I'm not a construction lawyer, but I looked for those issues that I see a lot and they weren't there. So that was good. Then I got it's like a 4-page proposal, actual engagement contract is what it seemed like to me. And Mr. Husheng, if I said it right?
Yes.
We discussed a couple concerns and issues he had with it. And so then I was able to contact Tom and we worked through the document. And I thought we were like, he was very easy to work with. And I thought we were like 95% there. And then he sent new documents this morning and they're all different. So I did look through them. Now the proposal I view as an actual proposal. Before the proposal was actually the contract. And that were part of the concerns we had. I was trying to get provisions added in that I would like to see in any contract. And that was all fine. The new one doesn't have those items, but that's because he also sent an actual service contract, which is about 23 pages. So that's a new document. I did go through it today. A lot of Husheng's concerns that we got out of the other one are back in this one now. Because, and Tom had to leave town. I think he just got it done quick before he had to leave town. And I did take a ton of notes on, you know, things to talk to him about, but I haven't had a chance to do that because he went out of town. So I can go through that contract if you want, but it's probably just going to change. Does that make sense? So do you want to go through it anyway, if I'm going to change it?
Amy, do you know anything on the change on that at all?
Can you unmute yourself, Amy?
I do not know anything on that. Tom's kind of been handling that, but he should be back next week. So I think he had just told me that he was working with Lee to go through it all. So I'm assuming when he gets back in town next week, he and Lee can connect and work through whatever questions there are.
I'm not too worried because he was really easy to work with. And it's kind of the same things, just pointing out where they are now.
Right.
So I'm not too worried about it. I don't know if you want to go through it then. It might be a waste of your time.
Probably a question I have for Lee. How comfortable are you that you and Tom will iron this agreement out so that the language that was in the first one will be in this new contract?
Some of it is in here and some of it's actually in here twice.
Right. So you just got to clean it up?
Yeah, I don't think he had the time to go through it really. So
Right.
yeah, I think it'll be fine. I'm highly confident.
Good.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not worried about it, but we just got to do it yet now.
Okay.
I think he just put back everything he had before, not changing it almost.
Yeah, it's kind of basically, yeah. And the proposal, he, one thing he did keep in this proposal is trying to make it sound more ironclad what the price is. That was one of the things. And he did put more details as to what the services are. I'd asked for that. Because at the time, this was the contract. But a lot of the other stuff, isn't in there now because it went to this document, but now it's, that document just needs to be updated some. So, and like I said, some of the things are in there twice. Some of the things I asked for were already in there and you didn't realize it. So,
Right.
so we just got to go through it. Should be fine.
Good. Okay.
Any specific questions?
I had just a couple, because from the last meeting, it was recommended that Michael and Tim review the agreement. Michael did review, he's our Director of Public Works, the agreement, and he had some questions. I was wondering if Tim also reviewed it and if he had questions.
Because of going back and forth with Lee until we had it kind of ironed out a little bit more, I didn't send it to Tim yet because of that. And I thought as of coming up to this meeting, I thought we were in good shape. But I have not gotten.
It has 12 on-site visits. Do we feel comfortable with 12 on-site visits?
It's once a month, which is all right.
Just asking out loud if that's what we're.
But when we are on the phone or when we have a meeting, he's also on the phone. Because we may have a weekly meeting or bi-weekly meeting, he should be on the phone. But once a month, he has to visit the site to just talk to the contractor, walk around the project, then come to the meeting.
Yeah, that's one of the changes in his proposal. He's still got 36 virtual visits, and that didn't make it into the contract. So now this is the proposal. This is not a contract. Okay, this is the contract, so that's what really matters. We have to make that right.
It has in there after 12 months, there's an extra charge because that's a slow project.
Yes, so one of the things that we were trying to take out, this was what Hucheng wanted, was to get rid of all these escalators and to get firmer on the price. And we had achieved that. Now this is full. There's like, I don't know how many, at least half a dozen different ways they can go up. So we have to kind of go through that again. But he did get the concept, it's just that he got new documents. So I think we can kind of get that better. At a certain level, he agreed that the drawings are done, the work that's done is done, and we're not paying for anything twice. At some point, you're going to have to allow a change in price if you actually do ask for different things, so he's got to have some of that in there. But he does, and I forget where he put it in his proposal. But it was in the contract too that, he's trying to make that the firm price at this moment, if I can say it that way, and that the work is already done.
The hesitation is coming in terms of hesitation, meaning we don't want to have a not to exceed contract because of some of these, not necessarily escalators, but a change order that could come up. That's what we're.
Yeah, there are ways that you might change something and it's got to be paid for. That's fair. I don't think you're going to get a contract otherwise in some ways. So we just got to make that clear. And you just really emphasize that that's the price as of now. And I think he has it in here that the drawings are done under the previous Bolt contract. That's the kind of thing you want. So just because it's a new draft and it's a different document, we just got to fix it again.
There have been moments in other construction projects where things get delayed and then that delays the project, and that because of supplies or other things that were outside of our control. And if we do go over 12 months, I just had the concern, then we pay this escalator.
I saw that in there.
Okay.
Saw that in there. Yeah, that's one of the ones I saw. There's at least 6. So
I think whoever we're going to award the contract, we need that contractor to give us all the rates for all these workers. So if there is a change order coming, then we can estimate that number better. If we don't have that, then I think we just don't know exactly how good is that number.
So the contract liability is for the contract value, which would be $173,000. My understanding of that then is that if there's an error that's more than that, that's on us. Is that common in a contract? Do you have concerns with that?
I've seen that before. Yeah, of course. I like not having it more, that was one of the parts I think we didn't get to discuss because the mutual waiver clause that's not in the proposal now is back in this contract. So now I got to discuss it with him again because that was the one thing I thought that was the one thing he was going to get back to me on because I don't understand why we really should have that. And it doesn't seem like it even kind of refers to this type of project.
Matt might be able to answer more on that.
Okay.
We're not going to accept that. His liability is equal to certificate of insurance, what he gave it to us. I think it's 2 million or 1 million on there. That should be his liability.
That was the other thing. We did get the additional insureds in the other one, and now it's got to go back into this one. It's not in there. So the certificate of insurance says there's additional insureds if required by the contract. So that's one of the things that's missing now. We got to put back in this contract. But he had no problem with it before, so I would hope he doesn't now.
It sounds like with this, I know we're all kind of talking in circles in here, but it sounds like once we have this new, I'm going to call it draft 2.0, that will answer a lot of these questions and clear it up, and that's when we can kind of hash it out. Because if he's already working with you on, sounds like 90-some% of these items already, they're likely just logically they're how it's going to follow this new one. It's just he didn't put that in there.
This one's a lot, this is a lot longer in 3-4 pages, so there's more to go over in this. No, we had a meeting of the minds with the one question. He was going to find out what that mutual waiver clause was, because I don't think he was sure. It seems to refer to power stations to me, and we're not a power station. That's not really a concern. So I don't know that we need that at all.
Indemnification then would still be in the new
Yeah.
agreement? It's not, okay.
Yeah. Now it's in there twice. So
I don't know, Husheng, if you reviewed that language and if you were comfortable with that. I know oftentimes you question that with.
I haven't seen this, but I'm gonna take a look at it. But I did talk with Lee before, and I said the way he had it before, his liability was equal to $172,000. And I told Tom, we're not gonna accept that. I think we talked about it. If you remember, we were at that meeting. I said, Village of Weston is not gonna accept it. Village of Rothschild, they're not gonna accept it. His liability should be whatever is the contract is possibly. But his certificate, I think, said 2 million liability.
Aggregate, yes.
So I think we can live with that because a lot of a consultant do that. That's the limit for them. But if we want more, they can ask for it. They can increase it.
My only other thing, and this is probably more a us thing than an agreement thing, but in the agreement, it says chief is the owner and all questions will go through chief. I think we're comfortable with that, right? But is there some sort of means of which I could see there being something with HVAC that comes up, like that we need to establish when those questions come? How are we going to funnel them through? Because we wouldn't necessarily always have an opportunity to call a meeting. Like, who is that person? So if they're constructing and you need to know whether or not this sounds right, who are you going to ask? So when you report that back to the committee, no one on the committee is like, why did you ask that person and not me? Or why did you go this way and not that way?
No,
I think that's
something
a good question.
it should be responsible to answer those questions.
But that's what the agreement says.
Well, we talk about that too. As a matter of fact, I told him, remember I said you don't want to answer those questions. It doesn't want to answer those questions. If there's a question, it has to go to the architect, and he should talk it to his engineer and get it out of his engineer and transfer it to the people who ask those questions in writing. And if it is during the bidding, he has to answer any question come out. He has to send it to every contractor bid on the project.
Right,
That's their job.
I would agree with that, that goes through the contract or the architect. And in fact, we had a discussion, Ryan and I on Chief Hunt, and that the architect should be the one that answers those concerns and questions as they arise and bring it to the contractors that's doing the construction. So with what Lee said today here, question that I have is, can we bring this to a motion possibility or not?
I think we need to wait, it sounds like correctly.
Until we get the corrected one.
I think, yeah, we need to see that corrected one and bring it back.
yeah, well, you're not voting on a contract today.
Yeah.
You could vote to move forward with a proposal.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with that if we don't have similar language. I don't get a vote though, so I apologize. Get a vote.
Yeah, I think wouldn't you agree that it would make sense if we just move forward together at the same time?
It's fine with me.
Yeah, so that's a CYA, I think, on our end.
We have time yet this
Yeah.
month to have another meeting. And I think it's important that you work with Tom and get this concluded before that next meeting.
Right,
Otherwise, we're losing time again.
right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So just the clarification he did add to this, responding to requests for information and clarifications on the drawings and specifications. That's one of the details he added. So tell me, because I see these in construction administration services, and okay, tell me what that means. And that's why he added this information. So, yeah, everyone's just gonna have to go through it again. I mean, I read through that contract one time quick because it came at 10 a.m. So,
But it's fine for us to read it, but you still need to work with Tom to get it. Otherwise, we're reading something that's
Go ahead and read
changed
it,
5
'cause-
times.
Go ahead and read it so I can hear your concerns again.
I think he should take those statements out of a contract at all. And that's what I was hoping for, especially with regard to the liability and all that. Those are got to be removed from his proposal. It shouldn't be there.
Which is what he's agreed to, correct? Tom's agreed to that.
Which one?
So you're saying to the liability, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It shouldn't be equal to his wages under 72,000.
No, that's the one issue we didn't get back around to.
Yeah, you should take that statement out of it.
With that said, will this contract be put together so that it can be made a motion to approve in a final draft
No.
by the 18th of this month?
I would hope.
Tom's gone for a week, right? So he's not
Right.
getting back for a week.
Amy, when is Tom back?
He should be back in the office Monday or Tuesday.
There you go.
Our normal next scheduled meeting was 18th
Correct.
of this month. So if we bring it at that point in time, will it be complete and ready to sign and ready to approve at that point by this board?
I'll be able to work on it, but I don't know if he's gonna have, more.
Changes.
I hope it goes as well, but it's just longer too anyway. And I mean, I'll tell you this, I'm pretty sure he's not working with an attorney on his end.
So any other questions for Lee?
No, I think you're just looking for a motion, right? And the
Right.
motion would be to just postpone until this contract gets finished up with the items that you
Correct.
already discussed and
Right.
comes back to this board
Mhm.
on our next regularly scheduled session.
Correct.
That's the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Jablonski, a second by Zagami. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah.
Motion carried. Moving on, agenda item number 5, discussion of possible action regarding stipend pay for personnel work cell phones.
I hate to bring this back up again, but when we did this the last time, we had a chief and captains. Now we have a chief deputy. I just want to include the chief deputy in that. And then we were at 30 before. We're just going to run it down to 25. So it's times 4 people for their stipend for their phone if approved. But we didn't have the chief deputy, so we weren't going to pay it until we got that approved.
25 per month.
Correct.
Questions for chief?
We were at 30 a month before for 3 people. So
Now is what, how much is it? I thought
25.
what it says, if it is more than that, I think you said it was 50 before.
It was. Now we're adding one more person to it, so we're trying to be fair to the budget.
We want to increase it or decrease
Go
it?
down. 25 per person.
Okay.
Just for the 4 leadership.
Correct. Yep, 4 management positions, correct.
We need a motion to that effect.
Move to make the amount of money for telephone usage of telephone to $25 per month.
And you wanted it including another individual, right?
For the 4 top managers.
For every,
Captains and above.
Okay, very good.
whoever using.
We have a second.
Second.
Motion by Zagami, a second by Jablonski. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item number 6, discussion of possible action regarding the building proposal project pamphlet.
So we're getting down to a point and we want to get this out to people. I'm looking for recommendations. We have some changes to be made to it. This is a draft yet. So I have solicited some information from people to try to come up with a better plan. So I'm working on changes to it, but I just want everybody to give me any input that they might have. You can email me after you read it again or think about it. We need to get something out, and I do agree that citizens should be apprised of everything that's going on, and I agree to that. So I just want to make sure it's done hastily when we get it sent out.
How are you going to send it out?
Probably going to go on our Facebook. can talk about it at a board meeting and then it would get put into a pamphlet, but
Websites.
so
Yeah, websites.
we're not gonna do mailers or anything like that. We're just gonna. We looked at our website. We have a lot of traffic on our website. They ran the numbers on it, and I know that's not on the agenda here, but there's a lot of people visiting our site and searching through different things, so there's good exposure on it.
You're just looking for input from us,
Yep.
everybody.
I'll take emails or anything, or
The time frame to get that out would be,
I'd like to do it by the end of the month.
okay, good, good.
So,
So there's no motion required on that.
so
Any questions for Chief regarding that at all? Seeing none, moving on. Discussion regarding 2025 year-end report.
I think we'll go through that.
Yep, so our 2025 annual report is in the packet. This is the same report that'll be presented at the village, city and town board meetings this month. Highlights all the major things that we had going throughout all of 2025, like the Halloween party, our canine fundraiser, which was very successful. New hires, which we hired 3 officers that year. I want to focus towards the end of the report. I don't see a page number on here, but there's a page that says arrest reports and then 2025 department numbers. So this 2025 was the first year that we actually had a full year as a department, because in 2024, the department came together in May. So we didn't really have true stats to see what are our calls for service, what are we actually doing. So at the bottom of the page, there's a right column which shows our totals. So like traffic citations, we had 3,296 versus in 2024, 2,249. Warnings, 2,322 versus 1,470. Crash reports, we had 673 for the year. We had 470 the prior year. And then calls for service, the big one. Overall, we had 25,504 calls for service versus the prior year, which again, this is a partial year, but we had 17,253. So our average monthly for 2024 was 1,815 calls for service. And for 2025, it went up to about 2,125 calls for service per month.
Thank you, Nick. Questions for Nick at all? You know, thanks again, Nick. Announcements and statements from the Oversight Board? Anyone?
Just a question for architect.
Go ahead.
Can she hear me?
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yep. I can.
Is the plan and the spec ready to go out for a bid?
Yep, we'll have it ready. We're going to be issuing June 16th is the plan.
So June
So-
16 gonna be ad in a paper.
June
Yeah, so
June
that's when we get the
16th will
contract.
be when we issue the drawings for bid.
And then when is the bid opening? It's July 1st? Or
July 16th.
16.
We'd have to have that contract
I got with contract till the
18th.
18th, yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to have the contract in hand before we'll release the drawings on the 19th.
Need the projects.
Well, it's gonna
Another
3
month.
days or so.
So
If we-
it's just
if we
announcements
wrap
and
it-
statements from board. It's not supposed to be a discussion back.
Right. We're discussing anything.
I know you weren't.
Any other announcements?
Good. Thank you.
Yep.
Agenda item number 9, set date, time, and agenda. Items to discuss at next meeting. We just discussed that the next meeting would be on the 18th. Is everybody okay with that? 3:30 or?
What?
I'm out of town.
Yes.
Can you zoom in?
Yeah,
You call in?
yeah, that's what we gotta
That'd
do.
be fine, yeah. That'd be fine.
I mean, honestly, I wonder if the
I
contract.
mean, hopefully it's done.
If you can get it ahead,
It should be in your packet.
if you can get it ahead of time and we're guaranteed it has what is
Yeah.
supposed to be in there, it
So,
wouldn't have to be here if we could do that.
Correct.
right.
Correct.
But go ahead and read it though, and if you got comments, send them up.
Sure, okay. So is everybody okay with the 18th? 3:30? Very good.
Did you want to do the 25th?
No, 18th should be okay. Yeah, we'll keep it 18th.
For that meeting, another agenda item, I don't know if it was discussed at the last meeting, but if we don't come in at the 7, are we gonna have the discussion about what's next? 7 million?
I
What's plan B?
think we can discuss that option if chief,
We won't know that until after the bid's back.
after the bids, yeah, correct.
And I think that would have to be a discussion.
In the
After
next meeting out at the time the bids are in, yeah.
Good. I know we had just talked about that, we would talk about what that potentially meant.
Well, yeah, but I think we're more hypothetical, though. I think we have to wait until see what that bid is and then,
Right.
then we'd have to sit down to the drawing board and talk
Mhm.
about that.
I agree. Any other questions?
At 3:30?
Yes, correct, 3:30.
Are they making another estimate on the project?
Matt, you there yet?
Are you making another estimate on the project?
Yeah, I'm working with, they'll be working with HTG, and like I said, it's as much just a pulse check on overall budget. I think especially in, I'll say, central Wisconsin, seeing some pretty competitive markets right now, so it'll be timely. But the other piece of that is just what are some either bid alternatives that you can, if numbers come in maybe slightly over budget, that you can maybe grab onto to say, hey, maybe we don't need to do this now. Maybe it's a deferred cost for later, or substitution alternates, either products, different materials, things of that nature. And some of those things we've already got established or identified, but that's really the purpose of this last effort with HTG.
Are we gonna know that by the 18th?
Yeah. Yep.
Lucky to keep it confidential.
Pardon me.
We like to keep it confidential.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Great.
No discussion.
Get the next meeting set up, so the next item on the agenda is motion to adjourn.
Move to chair.
Second.
Motion by Zagami, second by Jablonski. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? We are now adjourned.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Thanks.
thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.